அனைவருக்கும் காலை வணக்கம். Hi, a very pleasant good morning to one and all who have joined this virtual webinar on Introduction to Yoga and its benefit. Today's session is mainly concerned with how yoga benefits each one of us. And the main objective of this webinar, so me and Dr. Pungode, we had a discussion long back how to take about this. And the main objective of this webinar is to create an awareness on yoga, about yoga and its benefit to the human mankind. So in this hurry-burry world, where stress is going to be one of the common factor in our life, in all phases of life, I should say, we need to maintain a strong balance between the professional and the personal life. For this to achieve at least 60% to 80%, I can say, not exactly 100%, maybe, we need to understand about yoga and practice yoga as one of the item or one of the thing in our daily life. Maybe to go about it is very difficult to include, but slowly we can cultivate this habit, then it becomes a regular habit or a regular process. Our resource person of this webinar is Dr. Pungode. Dr. Pungode is not new to us. She has given many programs concerned with good clinical practice training, and she's one of our experts in the good clinical practice. So Dr. Pungode is currently working as head clinical trial operations in Madras Diabetes Research Foundation, Chennai. She completed a UG program in nutrition, thereafter PG program in psychology, followed by postgraduate diploma in clinical research and then doctorate in psychology and biochemistry. She became an yoga expert after completing a diploma in yoga. She is a member of various eminent societies in India and abroad, both internationally and nationally. And also she is an advisory board member of Krishnamacharya Yoga, Mandairam. So she completed more than 152 clinical trials in her career, and 11 ongoing projects is going on in the clinical trial. She has participated and presented many papers, research papers, I should say, scientific papers relevant to the human health, both international and in national conferences, published more than 42 papers in eminent journals, both national and internationally. So we are delighted to have you, madam. Over to you, madam, and we welcome you for the session.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a wonderful introduction, but you have spoken more about me than rather my CV speaks. It's wonderful being connected with you for years together now. And the main perspective of this seminar or this webinar is that to reach out to the public. It is not everyone is undergoing stress, some kind of a stress where we have to get out of this. Because I'm being a senior scientist at our institute and I have a lot of deadlines, meaning like I have to make a presentation within this time, I have to write a paper, I have to propose. So I was undergoing a lot of stress, and then I was totally fallen ill for about months together. So I thought it is not the way I should take my life out. I have to balance both. So I thought yoga could be the main tool for me to get out of this illness. So I volunteered myself, but it was a tough time to study yoga as well as do work at office, but somehow I managed and I got this teacher's training in yoga. And I really want all the scientists and the people all around to get benefited what I'm feeling right now. I feel totally fit. My stress is being burnt out by doing some pranayama and yoga, and I'm able to take more things where I was doing only 8 hours work. I'll be dragging things and I was not able to finish even for the day. Now I'm able to finish my work within 4 hours. So that kind of energy, if you practice yoga, even the simple pranayama can definitely help you and you take you really to the much higher level. So I will not spend more time, just take you. This is more an introduction because I'm not going to deal with any kind of asanas practice. It is going to be individualized. And madam and I thought we will discuss that later with you all. But currently, what I'm going to do is just an intro. Probably you may be aware of what yoga, but I'm going to relate more with science and other aspects, which is really a need of the hour. So just not taking much of all your time and just making my presentation. Yeah. Yeah, I think you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see the screen, ma'am, but
Okay.
slide mode.
Yeah. It's in the, I made it as a big screen, right? Is it okay, ma'am?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's in the
I,
slide.
th-
Right now, ma'am?
I think you can switch off and then on it back.
Okay, okay. Just a moment, ma'am.
Okay.
Give me a moment. How is it now, ma'am? Now?
Not yet in slide mode.
Okay.
Um,
You want it full screen? I'm just stop sharing and do it again, okay? Is it okay, ma'am? I think, is anyone visible? Is it fine? Is it just...
it is visible. I should ask others. Dr. Kala, Dr. Bulaja, is it visible for you?
It's visible.
Visible.
Yeah.
Yes, the slide is visible.
Charles,
Okay.
Charles, you can view it.
But it's not in full screen, ma'am. It is in the PowerPoint mode, as you said.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make it. Just to give me a moment. I think it's not...
Ma'am, you can click in the slide share, ma'am, and on the top.
Okay.
It will come in the full screen.
Yeah, I did that, but just a moment. It's, yeah, right. Yeah. I'll just make it 100%. Just a moment. Yeah. How is this now? Is it the same? Is it the same, ma'am?
Now it's better, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am, why don't you go to the slide mode at the top? You have button, you know.
Yeah.
After animations.
Okay.
After animations, you have slideshow.
Okay.
You can double click
yes,
it,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah.
From beginning. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now?
From
no,
beginning.
It's not
from
done.
beginning. Ma'am,
Is
come this side.
Okay, current slide. What do I?
Okay, sorry for the... This is a slideshow.
Come to the other side from beginning.
On your left corner.
Yeah. No, the other side, last. Yeah. Next. Come down from
Below
beginning. Come down.
Okay.
Okay, from current slide, whatever.
Okay, ma'am.
You can double click it, ma'am.
The right side or the left side, sir?
The current...
Okay, double
click on the icon for...
I did. Okay. Yes, is it okay now?
No.
Oh, okay. I think I'm spending more time on it. Let me see. Because usually it is in the slideshow. Just go on the custom slide.
Not custom slide. You go to the last one from beginning.
From beginning.
Custom slide from current slide or what?
The first form.
No problem.
I'll just try once, and otherwise I don't want others to wait for me. I'll just
problem.
go to the slideshow. Is it right, ma'am? Now I'll just go to the slideshow. Is it right?
No, your screen is
not shared.
Okay. Just a moment. Sorry. No, I'll just give a moment, ma'am. I'll be doing it. Just a moment.
No problem. Otherwise, you can do one thing. Can you mail me immediately or WhatsApp me? Whatever it is,
sure. That's the best thing. I'll do it right now because I don't want others to wait for me. I'll just do it right now, ma'am. Give me a moment. I'll just share it to you. I'm just by mailing you. I'm doing it. Okay.
Shields CC. Yeah.
Yeah,
Usually I'll have a copy. Yesterday you told me.
I told you because at times, no, every time it is shown properly. I don't know why it's not been done. I think I'm also struggling this time.
Participants, please do bear with us. This is also a part of technology.
Yeah, but the stress you have to undergo. Why? That is why you have to learn yoga. Ma'am, I've sent you. Just check. I just sent you.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Just see.
Shields CC. You have
Yeah,
sent.
exactly. The same ID.
Yeah, I didn't get it. Yes, ma'am, I got it. I'll share now. Yeah, I'll share.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please wait. I'll share now. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's
perfect.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Is it moving?
Yeah, it's moving.
Yeah,
and
please.
You can make it, but I mean, full screen. It's right, ma'am. It's full screen, right?
Yes, it's full screen. You can go on and you can tell me.
Okay.
Next.
Yeah. It's a first slide is okay. I'm just going to give an introduction to yoga and its benefits. So can I have the next slide, ma'am? Ma'am, can I just go to the next one?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah. So what is yoga? It is not, because if you can see, the Western culture has taken yoga right now, and everywhere in other countries they say yoga studio, yoga well-being. All this is not from the Western culture. It is our Indian origin. It has happened 5,000 years ago. It is by the rishis and yogis who have done a lot of work. I mean, they've been doing yoga, but there was not proper research on it, so it stopped it. So now the research over the past 3 decades have done a tremendous work on yoga, and said it is not only related to your asanas or making yourself slim or beautiful. It is more oriented to mind. So there is always a relationship between the mind and body when you talk about yoga. That's why when you say how best your health is depends on how well your mind is. So when your mind is very calm, relaxed, and probably you can take up any kind of a job, and that will definitely make your physical health also much better. So this is very important right now. What this current scenario in a pandemic, we are all undergo a lot of stress. It is not me. Any housewife can also undergo a stress. A school-going child can undergo a stress. So all this because we are in a kind of a pandemic, and we have a lot of obstacles, challenges in day-to-day activities now. So the relaxing and responses is very important. The coping skills is very, very important. That's why I keep on saying this point, the need of the hour is yoga and pranayama. So yoga, it's not only a single component, it is a multi-component. It has got asanas, that is the postures, like what we do, raise your hands up, down, and that is asanas. Pranayama is the breathing regulations, which can be done by anyone, any time of the day. It is not like you have any old people at 70 years, 80 years can do it. And a pregnant lady can do it. So it is kind of a pranayama. The breathing technique is very, very essential. And also dhyana and focusing. That is what is dhyana. So we are not going to talk about all this because right now I go step by step with this couple of this asanas and pranayama. So dhyana is like, you can't go straight into meditation. That's why everyone say, go sit and meditate. No, you have to go to the dhyana stage where you have to focus on some object and you have to be with the object. And one stage you will totally forget, you will be along with the object. That kind of concentration you get, then only it goes to a stage called dhyana. So all these are very, very important intervention strategy to address all the psychosocial disorders which people are undergoing currently. Can I have the next slide, ma'am? Yeah. So this is it's a holistic well-being. Why we say it's a holistic well-being? You take a drug, probably it may work on your body, not on your mind. So everything together as such will make you a much better person. The pills which you take, suppose you're a diabetic, suppose you're hypertensive, whatever it is, that will not act much well when your mind is not so good and you're not relaxed. So this kind of a holistic approach is very, very essential currently. And many of the hospitals are trying to bring this in place. What they do is that they give diet, they give medicines, that is all the lifestyle interventions. But apart from that, keeping them calm and then removing the stress and practicing some pranayama and a couple of asanas, that is called as a holistic well-being. And many of the doctors are trying this because they find a much better effect when they approach it in this way. So it is, as you know, that health and wellness, it is a multifaceted because disease itself doesn't have a single cause. So if you have a diabetes, it's not a single cause. It's maybe n number of factors, like the environmental have caused it and other factors could have been a cause for it. So any disease, not for diabetes, you take hypertension, you take cardiovascular problem, and you can even take depression. All these are psychological, biological factors which have add on to our day-to-day activities and which cause the dysfunction totally to us. So moreover, the progression of the condition is that physical may affect the psychological part. That is what we are going to talk about it today. So I again stress this point, yoga and pranayama is the need of the hour. The next slide, please. This is very important. When I say yoga, I don't say only practice of asanas. I say it is body, that is the asana, the physical postures, the mind and breath. So even I have seen many people doing yoga. What they do is that they do a body exercise like aerobic exercise. They don't go along with the breath. So when you coordinate your body with breath and mind, then it is called as yoga. So keep this component. The three components are very important. So the body should get along with your mind as well as the breath. So three should cooperate. So when what somebody have seen, like when they inhale, they will not, when they raise their hands, they should inhale, they will not do it. They just like that. So then the mind is not going to accept what you're doing. So all this, we will teach you later if needed, but this is in the concept, you have to know these three components are very important. The next slide, please. Yeah, the meaning of the term yoga, I thought is very important because it is a physical, mental, and spiritual discipline of practices. And please keep it in mind, yoga is not a religion. That I have a last slide which talks about it. It is a science. So it's not, it's physical, mental, and spiritual disciplines. It could be any spirituality. It is not, I'm talking about people who pray Krishna or Rama. No, anyone who go to Jesus or go Allah, anyone. That spiritual discipline is very important for any yoga practices. And yoga is one of the 6 fundamental thought of Indian thought, which is called as Darshana. Darshana is like to see you, not God or anywhere, to see yourself, to see, to go inside, translates to see, move inside. That is what it is talking about. And the literal meaning of yoga is that you just to unite or to join. What to join? To join with somebody, no, to join your soul with the mind. Your body and soul, your mind and both are same. So you have to join that. That is to unite or to join. The next one. And then where did we get these resources of yoga knowledge? It is from the Vedic sources. And it is still in a continuous development. It is not yoga stopping at one place. It is a continuous movement. It is keep moving. It's keep moving. And we are not able to prove in the Western culture, like there are literature saying that yoga can do it, but still we are in not able to prove a lot of research on it. I'm also still doing more research work on it. It talks about we have to bring this to the whole world, like yoga is best tool for many of the illness. And the Patanjali, I'm so fascinated by Patanjali because I learned sage Patanjali's yoga. He has compiled it and systemized a wide body of yoga knowledge. So there are other innumerable classical texts. I'm not talking about Patanjali. You can go by Bhagavad Gita talks about yoga, where when Krishna was, Arjuna and Krishna were in the war, and then he was hesitant. Arjuna was shaking all over the body, and he said, I can't kill my own cousins. Even all, if I kill my cousins, what happens to the rest of the people there? No, then Krishna says you have to practice yoga. You should have that stamina. You're killing people who are not so good. So try to all this. That is how Bhagavad Gita was taught, and yoga was also practiced during that time. And Shiva Samhita, Hatha Yoga Pratipika, Yoga, a number of books. But I am talking more about sage Patanjali. The next slide, please. So the definition of yoga, please keep this very, very important definition, where I usually like this because yoga chitta vritti nirodha, that is a Sanskrit word. What does it mean? It is that when the mind is not distracted, your mind is not distracted, please keep this in mind. It should not be distracted. Then you can completely eliminate all this distraction. Then you are in a stable state. That is called as yoga. The yoga is a state where yoga chitta vritti nirodhaka. None of the other functions like distractions in your mind will not happen when you are doing yoga practice. So that is very important. So there are other n number of definitions are given, but I'm just giving very, very important to the day-to-day activities on your life. And yoga is a samskara. Samskara is like it is like keeps on coming up. Like you have been used to it, you have been practicing it. It's like it goes from one generation. It's like it's a pattern. So that is what we are talking about. So the purification process to prepare the mind and the body to the higher level. So it is preparing us to move to the higher level. The next slide, please. And then the paths of yoga, there are many yoga, which I'm not going to, because karma yoga is what? You're doing every day the karma yoga, your duties, your responsibility. As a mother, what you have to do. As a father, what you have done. As a brother, what you have done. As a sister, what you have done. All these activities, the responsibilities and the duties. As a scientist, what I have done. As a teacher, what? All these duties and functions are called as a karma yoga. And Bhakti Yoga, we know like how we are going to the temple and doing all of religious activities. Is Bhakti. Jnanam is called as Jnana Yoga, is religious. And the Raja Yoga is all apart from all this yoga, and it goes to the higher level, the supreme level, where we are getting connected to the supreme power. So these are all n number of parts of yoga. But I'm going to talk about 8 limbs of yoga, which is very, very important. That yamas, niyamas, asanas, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. These are the very, very important fundamental needs of our human people, like which we have almost crossed about. I can say like I've crossed yama. Everyone would have been doing what yama. I will take you to the next slide. The niyamas, asanas. Pratyahara is also very important. Then comes the dharana, dhyana, and then samadhi. So that is why I said you can't straight away go to a meditation. You have to complete all these aspects and then go to meditation. The next slide, please. Yeah, this is 8 limbs. I think we can skip that as what I put it as a design. The next one, please. Yeah. What is the first component? Yama refers to the discipline one has to observe in relation to the society. What kind of discipline we should have it to the society? Is it not that we have to be doing something? No, you should not do. Like, what are the 5 important yamas? If someone asks, it is non-violence, non-stealing, not being very possessive of what things. Like I've seen many people, they have that concept. They would have taken that own hypothesis in a science journal, and someone will steal it off. That is also called as a non-possessiveness, non-stealing. All these important factors, even satya, being very satya, be truthfulness, and brahmacharya, they say celibacy. All these very, very important. You are married to one person, then you have that relationship. That kind of 5 yamas are very important. What we do to the society. So probably we are all following the yama. So we would have filled the first component. The second is niyama. What is second component? That is how duty is directed towards ourselves, the inner observance. Cleanliness. You may wonder what you're talking about. Cleanliness is not only to physical body. It's to totally purify yourself by all means. So what all means? Like how you keep your mind, not pollute your thoughts and talks back of someone. And then, steal some of the property in the sense their knowledge. So all this kind of cleanliness is very important. And also self-reflections, like what you have to reflect yourself. And we say in Sanskrit is tabas, doing more of practice to self-discipline is called as tabas. And contentment, like what you have, you should be content. Oh, I am not so rich as that person. My knowledge is not accepted. My paper is not accepted. That kind of a feeling you should not. So you have to be content with what you have. Oh, God has given me so many things. I'm so happy. That is called as all 5 aspects, which is called as niyama. Then asana is a third component, which involves the bodily postures, like what you do, like asanas. There are n number of about 65, 70, 100, you can say, of asanas, so which will be practiced individualized to persons. It is not, you can't do a practice as a group. You have to take each person and say what's the problem and then teach asana. Then pranayama is a fourth component that refers to the extension of the vital energy. This is a vital energy. Please keep in mind, this is the vital energy which takes everywhere. You can see a sage, you can see a person in, if you go to any Tiruvannamalai or whatever temple, wherever, the person will be very slim and he can climb up to the hill like that because he has vital energy that is called as the breath. He's able to control his breath. He's not doing an involuntary movement. It is totally conscious breathing he is doing. That vital energy is very, very essential, but we are not doing the breathing in the right way, which I'm going to teach you now. In the next slide. Yeah. So pratyahara is the fifth component. The conscious withdrawal of energy from this is very difficult, but I come to one stage where I've been like a smell of coffee can stimulate me, and now even keeping coffee, I am not stimulated. So that kind of sense you should have, like you should move away from that. Even I love to have a lot of chocolates like earlier, but even keeping a lot of chocolates is not tempting me. So you have to go. I've seen many people who have been smoking earlier before coming to yoga, and they quit smoking because when you start practicing yoga, that self-discipline starts coming in. So that is called pratyahara, that you withdrawal from the things which you really like it. And dharana, it is like focusing and linking your mind to the object. That could be any object. It could be your mother who is not no more with you, or even a deity. You keep that object and start linking you with that, and probably you'll be along with the object. That is called dharana. Then comes, you will keep on thinking about that and start meditating. That is dhyana. And samadhi is the last stage where you merge totally with it. And there is only one body, there is no body, it is only your consciousness. That is where the stage called samadhi, you are in a proper meditation. So these are the 8 Ashtanga yoga, but right now we are in a materialistic world and we are, carried away by many things, and we have not come to that. I think many would have come to that stage. I mean, people who are really old would have come to that dhyana, samadhi stage, not samadhi, dhyana stage. But reaching samadhi takes a long time, and you have to be totally out from all your world pleasures and everything. You have to come out totally, and no attachment should be there. But that is not, I'm going to talk about it. This is what 8 limbs of sage Patanjali talks about. The next slide, please. Yeah. This is what is asana? To sit what? What is it? It's a Sanskrit root, which means to stay, to be, to sit. To stay in the posture, to standing position, you have to stay in that posture. To sit in the position, you have to sit in the posture. That is called as asanas. And 2 qualities of asanas very important. I've seen people doing with jerks. You can't do asana with jerks. You should be very steady. That's why you say siram. That is, you should be very steady and alertness, and also remain comfortable. Sugam. So the combination of siram and sugam is very, very important in yoga. Please, if you are practicing yoga, see that you're doing it slowly and you're not pushing yourself, overdoing anything. So that yoga postures, when you do, even my master will say, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable? Is there any pain? If you have any pain, stop it. You don't do it. Yoga is not asking you to do unless you have some pain. You totally stop it. And slowly you can. So that's why they stress these 2 important qualities, that is siram and sugam. That is, you should have steadiness and sugam, or comfortable position. We're doing asanas. It is to improve your flexibility, strength, and balance. Keep that in mind. Please don't think that people who are doing yoga should be slim and they should be like Aishwarya Rai. It is not necessarily like that. Yoga is only for your mind. It is a flexibility you have and strength and balance. And you can see people who are little obese or also they be practicing yoga, but the flexibility is different from the normal person. So always take that message. Yoga is not going to shed your weight immediately, but in a long run, it will definitely do, unless you're good with your diet and practice everything. But yoga is done for a flexibility, strength, and balance. And then what the poses, it helps the body's joints, ligaments, muscles strengthen through the movement. And when you combine with the breathing techniques, that you can definitely relieve of your stress and anxiety. Please keep this point very important. Asanas will give you flexibility, strength. But when you combine with the breathing technique, what happens? It will remove your stress and anxiety. So asana is only the physical practice that relates to the body. The next slide, please. Yeah, these is asanas, very simple asanas. That asanas are should not be done by watching a TV or going by a YouTube. Please, it should be one-to-one and from a trained teacher. There are people who are doing yoga and they say, I will teach yoga. No, it involves anatomy. It is not like a thing that anyone can do it. It should be practiced properly and should be learned properly. So these are the simple asanas like standing postures, bending postures, and lying postures, and also kneeling postures. The next one, please. These are which demand a little bit of more practice. That is, these asanas, as you know, the Sirasasana, and this is Trikonasana, and this Cobra position is called as Dhanurasana, and Sarvangana. All this requires, even I don't do much of this. I can't do, I can do few. But I don't do Sirasasana and all because, so these are very difficult poses that all to be learned from the beginning, from the base. The next slide, please. Now, the sequencing of asana is very important. I've seen people who lie down and then immediately they go to standing position. No, asana should, as a sequence. There is a standing posture. That's why I say, even before standing asana, you are asked to sit in one comfortable position, just do little breathing and then start with the standing postures. Then go for a lying postures. Then there is inversions postures, like invert, that is what you call Sarvangasana and all. That is called inversion. The lying prone. Lying means you totally be upside down, lying postures. And that is all called as this Dhanurasana, all these boat postures. All these are lying postures. That is called as prone position. And kneeling. Kneeling sequence, just you kneel down and then do asanas. And then seated. This is the sequence. And always when you do asanas, in the asanas in a seated position and do a little bit of pranayama. This is the sequence. And if you are doing it in a different way, please try to change it right now. The next slide, please. Yeah, what does it do? It is awareness of mind. It's not associated with mere physical discipline. Asana is just not only a discipline for your body, it is the mind to concentrate on each and every subtle movement. Every subtle. That's why when we do my master say, can you feel your breath? Can you feel your breath? Can you just observe your breath? That is what he keeps on saying. I sit in one position and say, can you observe your breath? Observe your breath. That is what we have been taught to do. And I don't recommend people doing yoga by watching movie or music. That is for aerobics, fine. That is for an aerobic you can do. You can watch TV. You can have big music playing on. No. When you do yoga, there are some mantras you can do it. You can do some, even if you're being a Christian, you can even say Jesus. You can do Allah. Like you can keep on saying that mantra to yourself and do that. Yoga will have a lot of impact on you. And as you know, that human minds has got 3 gunas. We all have 3 gunas. That is sadhik, being very, it's a balance between the rajas and tamas. What is sadhik is very calm person. Like you can take Rama as an example. And rajas is very, very energetic. They want to achieve things, set goals. They keep on setting goals and they want to achieve. It is not bad. It is, at times it causes a lot of problem. So to be in a place where I'm working, a lot of activities. Even I become so rajas. At times I keep pushing myself to the top level and I feel why I'm doing it. And at one stage I feel I'm so drained of energy and come, no, I should cool down. So that is how you have to balance. And tamas is like you say the buffalo, a sleeping buffalo. No, it will always be in a water buffalo will be just like drowsy. You can't be like tamas. You should not be rajas. You should be a combo of both, but with being very calm in mind. So these 3 gunas you have to balance yourself. So when you learn yoga, you will know where we are going. A more steady and more we are energetic and going to a high speed, that is called rajas, and where we are slowing down. So all this you can bring it down and tune it yourself and become very sattvic. And these have impact on the practice of asanas also. The next slide, please. So now I just told what is asana and how you have to do an asana and the sequencing of asana. Now coming to the pranayama. What is pranayama? It's very, very essential thing. See, if you are not doing it, I can also teach, or you can learn from your teacher or whoever it is. It is called as pranayama consists of two parts, the prana and ayama. What is prana? Is, it is a vital energy. It is a vital energy throughout the body from here to here. Ayama means extension or stretching that vital energy. So how do you do that? That is where you have to practice pranayama. So you have the vital energy, that vital energy to be spread out through your body. So that is why we call ayama, means stretching or extending that. So it is definitely everywhere. So there was one a small story I want to say. It is not happened, but it's like a story when we talk about pranayama, they usually say, when God says, asking all the sense organs, the eye says, I'm the superior. Without me, the human being is very difficult to live. And the ear say, without me, he can't hear. And then the tongue say, without the taste, they can't do it. And the God said, okay, fine, I take off all this. But the people survived. We were able to live. The human being were able to live. When the vital energy stopped, when the prana stopped, everything stopped. There is no body, there is nothing. You're dead. That's why prana is very, very important. It is the vital energy and we have to focus on it. So when you start doing this pranayama and in a proper way, definitely you can feel the difference between what you were before and what you are going to be in future. So that is why it is called as important one. So once the prana which enters the body is prana and it leaves, it is called as apana because it goes out through your stomach and goes out. So these are all very important because why we talk about this elimination process is very important. As you know, people with constipation also a lot of stress they undergo. So that's why when prana is good, then the elimination process will also be good. So that is always a link. They say there is a link between mind and gut. It is absolutely, there is a mind. I know one recent gastroenterologist in UK and he's from India and I think his name Pranayama, and he has got one unit for breathing. So he is a gastroenterologist. Why should he have a breathing unit in his own center? Because he feels the mind and gut is connected. So what he has done, he has got one person full time for it, and the person, whatever kind of a cancer, colon cancer, send him. He has got GI problems, send that person to him. And that person will teach the breathing technique. That has given a lot of tremendous, effort on whatever he has done and has got a lot of therapeutic effect, much better than what he was doing it earlier. It is, he has, shared his, his practice earlier. I think I listened to his webinar. It's too good. So you keep it in mind. Gut and mind is all related. The next slide, please. Yeah. As you know, breathing is a respiratory process. Maybe there are a lot of scientists here. So what we are going to do in pranayamas, the conscious breathing is very important. And this is achieved only by your effort. No one can do it. And doctor cannot do miracle or God can do miracle. You have to do by yourself. So it is, as you know, the breath cycle consists of inhalation, where the air goes into the lungs, and then exhalation, where it comes out in the opposite direction. This is practically what happens and what we know about the inhalation and exhalation. So what happens in an asana practice or when you do a conscious breathing? The next slide, please. Yeah, this is an anatomical representation of conscious breathing. When Madam said there are people with a lot of more of scientific knowledge, and I thought it's very important what happens. Probably you are aware, fine. If you are not aware, I want to teach this process, very important. So what happens when you inhale, the diaphragm contracts. So you know that the diaphragm and it comes down, and I think little disturbance. Yeah, fine. I think, can you mute? Hello? Oh, yeah. Now
there is someone, because I'm sharing the screen, I cannot do it.
Oh, okay. I can't. I'll just try if, no.
No, you cannot do it. You
Yeah,
cannot do it.
right. It's some, okay. Yeah, it's now fine. Okay, fine. Fine. I think, yeah. Yeah, fine. Thank you, please. And this diaphragm contracts and moves down. So once the diaphragm contracts and moves down, what does it do? The lift and rotate. That's why when you inhale, what happens? See, this is a physiological aspect and anatomically what happens. When you inhale, what happens? Your shoulder, that is your chest, should expand. That is what is happening here. You can see right away. So the external intercostal contract and lift and rotate the ribs. It just, the ribs, it comes up and lift the sternum. That's why when you inhalation is very important. Say when I inhale, you can see a lift is, it is lifting. It has to lift. That is why, because it should the proper way of inhalation. Then the lung stretches, and what happens? The air gets filled in, and the diaphragm is pushed down. As you know, the diaphragm is pushed down. Automatically, the stomach comes up, so comes out. So I inform all my patients who ever come to me and my staff who have the difficulty. What to do is that when you inhale, I'll ask them to keep one arm on the stomach, like this. If you can see me, I don't know, like this, like when I do inhalation, my stomach, you can see the chest is expanding, my stomach comes out. This is a proper inhalation. Please, if you're not doing it, please rectify it. So as the diaphragm comes down, it pushes down, and the sternum and the things expands, and what happens? The abdomen comes out. So you can feel your hand on the abdomen and see, even if you can write down, do it. That is there you have to correct your inhalation or your breathing. So we have been doing it properly. No say that we are not doing it. We have been doing it perfectly when we were born as a child. But what happened? Due to the environmental factors and changes happen, and we have totally changed and reversed our inhalation process. Now, this is what the inhalation happens. So you can see the abdomen is like this, and you can see the chest is expanded. Now, the mechanism is in reverse, that is exhalation. So what happens? The diaphragm try to come up. So when you expel or you exhalation, what happened? I'm exhaling now. So when I keep my chest like this, on arm, one on the chest and one on the abdomen, I exhale. What happens? This is the rib gauge, everything will just come to its normal position. And you can see the diaphragm comes to its normal position. And your abdomen will go to us. It goes in. The more you exhale, the abdomen goes inner and inner. So it can feel, that's why they say relax, relax. So when you do relaxation and the abdomen is going in, that means you're doing a proper exhalation. When proper exhalation is done, it even cures many diseases. I touch wood, I'm saying it has happened to me. When you do a lot of exhalation, even headache can go, but you have to do it properly. Exhalation, as you prolong the exhalation, you can't do it in within 10 days, within 15 days. No, it takes months, years. For me to give a lot of exhalation, I can do a kind of a cleansing. I can do 6 inhalation, 12, and I can hold for about 24 counts, 36 counts. That kind of exhalation you can do, it gets rid of anxiety, stress, depression, everything goes up. There is no need to go to a psychiatrist, as the psychiatrists in India all over the world are less. So you can also don't go there. You can keep yourself very well by mentally. And when you're mentally fit, what happens? Physically, you're going to be fit. That is obvious. Okay, there is a relation. So this is what you have to understand. So I taught you how to do an inhalation, exhalation. At end of this session, you can also come out, or you can go through ma'am's Sheila ma'am's thing, and we can also respond to it. I'm very happy because I want everyone to get this benefit. It is a very important benefit. It's like a tonic. It is like a blessing. It's a boon God has given to us. So learn this proper breathing. That's all. Nothing you can do it. Do it every day, at least 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening. That will take you very well. It is not necessary you have to study your weight. You can do this. You'll be flexible and you'll be very energetic. You can see the thing. The next one. No, I go to the next slide now. See, this is what very important. When it's pranas inside and outside, what is happening? You can see. These are the first thing we are doing it. I was doing it earlier. Sorry. I don't know whether everyone has been doing it right now, but if you're doing it, please don't do that. The prana energy should be inside as figure 2. Got it? Because when you do in a wrong way, all your inhalation, exhalation is like vice versa. It is going out and your energy is spent out. It is not inside. The vital energy should be inside your body. That is why now, probably I would have been in the position 1 earlier, but now after doing yoga, I'm in position 2, in figure 2. So this is what you have to do. That is very, very, very essential. So keep this in mind when you do that. What I taught you in the earlier slide, when you practice it properly, you can get this kind of a figure 2, and you can do it very slowly. Don't be, oh, I want to go. No, go slow by slow. Method is very slowly, and you'll definitely achieve it. The next slide, please. Yeah, components of breath is very important because they say breath enters the system through inhalation, which I taught you, and exhalation. And in each breath, a subtle intermission is there. Have you observed it? I don't know. Many would have not observed it. That's why my teachers say, lie down, concentrate on it. What he says every time, why you concentrate on it? I was so confused. I don't know why he keeps on saying, are you able to concentrate on your breath? I said, why? I'm inhaling, exhaling. And then he said, it's involuntary. It is not conscious breathing. So when I started doing it, I felt each exhalation, inhalation, there is a little bit of a hold we can do it. That is called as kumbhaka. That is in Sanskrit word, where there is a pause. That is called, when you hold it, the hold for a long time, that gives you a lot of energy. That is what people in the past, the sages used to do it. They can hold for many minutes to even hours. That's why the body becomes so light. They can even fly, you know. It happened. It is not like what they say in movies and all. It has happened. People can fly because they were able to hold for a long time. But we are not in that. I'm not focusing on you to hold for a long time. Holding between an inhalation and exhalation will also give a lot of energy. That is called as a component of pause. You pause it for a while. So when we do a kind of an alternate breathing, is called as Nadi Suddhi. You inhale and then I just hold like this, and then just couple of seconds. I'm not holding long. I can hold. But what happens when you do a kind of a ratio? Your inhalation could be 6 and then exhalation should be 12. It's 1:2 ratio. But in between, if you're able to hold, that is called as pause. That will, if you can do it, then you're mastering your breath. But we are not going to do that because it needs a lot of practice. So I'm just going to teach only on the inhalation and exhalation. The next slide, please. Yeah. See, what is the difference between an asana and physical exercise? Very, very important. What is it? You have number of postures attained by using your body, mind, and breath. Keep this point very important. Asana, when you say postures, it is not just like postures we are doing. Like what physical exercise, walking, jogging, running, nothing you needed. You walk, you run, nothing. But here, you're concentrating your mind and breath for any postures. So that is very important. That is called as asanas, difference between these two. And it involves both dynamic and static postures. You can be in a static position or you can be dynamic, keep moving. But in an aerobic exercise, it's mostly a dynamic movements. And you can see your pulse rate, your heart rate will be double, triple. And you rest in between two exercises. You rest one exercise, you do a jogging, you go on a treadmill, then they stop, you go for a cycling. That's all you can do. But here in yoga, you can, do a rest between even one postures. So the focus is very important. So what happens, there is a called counter pose in yoga. Suppose if somebody is doing Sarvangasana, he can't straight away come down. It is wrong. He has to go to a Bhujangasana, that is the like kind of a positions where it is like a snake position, you just lift it. That posture, then he comes to back. But here, the chances of physical injury is very, very less in asana. But here, the chances of physical injury is more. But I'm not saying physical exercise, aerobics is not bad. Both are good. But you can balance both. So I had the same question to my ma'am. When she was taking class, ma'am, I walk and then can I do, I do treadmill. Can I do asana or treadmill first? She said, I don't recommend treadmill, but if at all doing a treadmill, probably you can do treadmill and do asana, because when you do a treadmill, what happens? Your pulse rate is faster, your heart beats faster. and everything goes fast. And abruptly you stop and come down. You just rest, that's all. Imagine such a level you go and then come down. But she said, you stop it. After that, do asana. So then I started a combo of both. But later I thought physical exercise is making me really, because I sweat a lot and I was losing a lot of energy. I think, let me just focus only on asana, simple asanas, and breathe. So it is not, I'm saying bad, but a combo should be done in a proper way. So go for walking and do asana. Don't go for asana and then go for walking. So when you walk for a long time, go for a jogging, then always you feel the heart beats fast. Then come down, do asana, it makes you calm. So that's why I say this combo is very important. And they just keep it in mind, in a classical dance like Bharatanatyam and a sport activities, asana, yoga has become mandatory now. Anywhere, you go for any Bharatanatyam, they say practice, even for a sports. Because what they felt is not only the physical exercise. A sports person is not necessary to be more fit. Yeah, obviously he should be fit. But apart from that, his mind should be focused. That's why I say combo of both is very important. The next slide, please. So norms of practice is very important. Someone comes and say, ma'am, I'm going here, my time. So I said, allot some time in the morning. No, I can't do it in the day. Or come in the evening so that you have some time. The time is very important when you do a practice. You cannot have something too heavy. You can't have a solid food about something and ask. No, you can't do it. You can't bend even. You can't even stretch your hands. So that time, at least 4 hours, you should not have any solid before doing any exercise, asanas. And 2 hours before, you should have a liquid. That's okay. And duration is also very important. If somebody is doing for the first time, I can't force someone to do it 1 hour. No. Practice 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then slowly go to 45 minutes and 1 hour. The place is also very important. Where you do, it should be very calm, without any music. And airy is very important. You can't do it in a AC room. You have to have more of ventilation. So when I am doing it in Krishnamacharya, they take me to the top floor, on the 3rd, 4th floor, and they open all the windows. Lot of air comes in. At times in summer, no, you feel like it is too hot. But even then, they have so many fans. But that wind, they used to do it. There you get the proper breathing. That's why they say the place is very important. You don't do asana in a closed room. But if at all at home you're doing it, switch off your AC and have some ventilation from your door and then keep that open. And clothing is also very important. See, a comfortable clothing, like if you're a lady, you should have a churidar, or don't wear tight jean and you do it. And sari, you can't definitely do it. For a men also, comfortable kurta or whatever it is they are wearing, it is fine. And prayer, fasting. These are all norms. And the misconception, they say yoga is Hindus, only Hindus can do it. No, please don't have this misconception. I strongly against this. It is not a religion. Yoga is like a science. It is a science and we have to do it. And it's a mind-body discipline. And diet, not necessary. You should be only a vegetarian. You could be a non-vegetarian too. It is not like people think that doing yoga, you should do only vegetarian. But automatically, ultimately, you land up with a vegetarian earlier. I was a pure vegetarian, but I was used to take some egg earlier. But now I stopped it because during practicing yoga, having egg also, I felt it is not so good. So it takes you to that time. So if you're a non-vegetarian, please go ahead. I don't stop it. And sick or ailing, listen that yoga is not for sick. Don't see that. Sick needs more of pranayama. So yoga is not meant for, is not only for healthy people, it is also for sick people. So these are the misconceptions being taken, across for the people across the world, like they release a religion and all. The next slide, please. Can you have the next slide? Yeah, yoga and diabetes, because I come from a diabetes background, I thought it's very important. Because I've written a lot of papers on yoga and diabetes, and we have also got a wonderful paper which I'm going to publish on yoga and diabetes. What I found, apart from controlling the diabetes, the mental health has improved in people with yoga. The quality of life improved. So it is management of diabetes, hypertension related chronic conditions. So, but it should be taught properly and should be practiced properly, and someone should monitor. So there are patients who come to my center and they say, ma'am, I did. And if I see the diary, they were not even written. I used to send them with a diary. They write, bring out what you are practicing, or they would not even practice. And I can find some will write something and come. When I ask them to do that asana, they will not do it. So true to be yourself is very important when you want to achieve something for your better management of diabetes. And it is also cleansing process like asana, pranayamas, mudras are there, mantras are there, mindfulness or reduce blood glucose level, and also helps in the other comorbid condition, as I said, with mental health also. Next slide, please. Yoga and mindful eating. People who do yoga are very, they can regulate their diet pattern. They don't even train. Oh, I've taken a lot of samosas. I've taken 2 samosas. No, it's not good. So their discipline comes in. The self-discipline autumn. Oh, I've taken extra 1 idli. Probably I should do a lot of. So that kind of a thing. No need someone to tell you. You are your own doctor for you. So they say, yeah, discipline comes in when you have yoga done properly. So you go in for a mindful eating. So you'll be very calculating what you're eating, and you will try to eat on a healthy diet. And or found to be, it also improved dietary practices and also medications adherence. And what we found, people who are not adhering to the diet, I mean to the medications properly, once they started doing, what happened, that anxiety, stress level has come down, and they started adhering to the medications also well. That was a study which we did in Independent. It is a NIH grant study. It is funded by National Institute of Health from US. And found people who have started doing yoga, they started taking medications properly. So that is also very important of eating mindful as well as taking the medications properly. So, and that is called sadhik diet. I'm not talking about it, but they take a lot of fruits and vegetables when they are moved to yoga and all. Next slide, please. So 13 benefits of yoga that are supported by, these are really supported by science. I have papers for it, I can say. Decrease stress. Yes, I have found in my own study. Relieves anxiety, definitely. And may reduce even inflammation. And could improve your heart health. Cardiac problem also you can improve by doing proper breathing. And quality of life, absolutely, there are a lot of papers have shown that quality of life is improved. Fight depression, it is not that, it is proven. When you do yoga, your depression level is come to 0. No need to go to a psychiatrist. Reduce your chronic pain. Promote sleep quality. Very important. People are now not able to get sleep. They have so many things on mind. They are not even able to sleep. Now the important thing, what they need in life is that good sleep, good air, good water. So that is lacking, then there is where human being is going to exist. That's why promoting sleep quality is very important. When you do yoga, automatically you get that 6 to 7 hours sleep, or definitely even 8 hours. And flexibility, balance, yes. And help improve breathing, which is very important for any illness. Release migraines. Yes, I was telling madam a couple of days ago, I had a migraine, and they say it's a post-COVID effect. I don't know whether it is, because many of my doctor colleagues say that there are migraines becoming a post-COVID side effect. So I found that I got migraine after a long time. Then 1 or 2 days, I was just having this pain. Then I started doing breathing, and probably I get rid of this migraine now. So I'm free of migraine. So this is also proven. And not from my experience, a lot of papers on it, and promotes healthy eating habits and increase your strength. Next slide, please. And it should be learned from a qualified yoga professional. Please don't go switch on your YouTube. Don't go by norms given by this person, that person. He could be a good person, probably, but you have to learn from a qualified yoga professional. And it is suitable for an individual's requirements and should be practiced. See, a person may come out and asking, ma'am, I have ailments, especially arthritis. I can't do it. I have to get his detailed history and then say it should be 1-to-1. The next slide, please. This is very important, which I like it. It is called Sloka 31 of Yoga Anjalisaram, which I love this, because never give up yoga. Yes, once you start practicing, never give up. It should be part of your life, like brushing your teeth, taking bath. It should be part of your life. Never eat heavy, unhealthy food. Always practice the right pranayama. So after I taught you, probably you may come out with a lot of doubts, but practice the right pranayama, praying again and again the feet of the Lord. Whichever Lord you are doing, please. This is very important sloka of 31, which I really love it. I almost see it every day, and I get motivated by seeing this points. Next slide, please. So to conclude, yoga is not a religion, please. It's a science. So science of well-being and science of youthfulness. If you are about 60 years also, you may look 40 years. That kind of, you will be youthful when you do yoga practice every day. And science of integrating body, mind, and breath. So the three you have to see: body, mind, and breath. B square and M. I say BMB. Okay. So that's all for me from my end. And I think there's no next slide, ma'am. Thank you. So any questions for me, I'm willing to take it up.
I understand the definition of health. Health is defined by physical and mental well-being. Always we concentrate on the physical health. I have fever today, I have a headache, take some medicine. No, the mental well-being is very, very essential. Also, you were expressing the microbial gut axis. Yes, madam. Gut is an essential organ where most of us don't concentrate at all, because unless they come across the constipation problem, gut is neglected. Actually,
Yes.
gut has straight access to your mind, to your heart, and to your immunity, because when we were born, there are so many coloniform bacteria.
Yes.
And as our lifestyle changes, we are killing some of them. So the essential part is being removed and we don't get immunity also. So gut axis is very important. Another thing which we all should know is age is a number. Aging should happen gracefully. Gracefully in the sense that we should be happy while aging. But most of us, it happens that we end up in so many problems, especially in women. If you ask us, we have problems associated with knee joints. So thank you for your wonderful session. At least today we would have learned what is yoga, and definitely we need to practice. And as I said earlier, dear participants, it's only an awareness program which we have initiated today. We hope to continue, especially for the population who do not have time and who feels stressed when balancing the personal and professional life, especially demanding jobs, 14 hours on 16
Yes.
hours they do work. So that is very important. Dear participants, if you have any questions, I think ma'am is available. So today, Charles,
Ma'am,
yes, Charles.
good morning, ma'am. Thank you, Sheila, ma'am, for making this session happen. And it's a wonderful talk, Pungoday, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I have been going for consulting. I am a physiotherapist, basically. I have been going for consulting for an mentally retarded home, ma'am. Actually, the people are above 50, a
Okay.
person I deal. Will this yoga help them, not physically, mentally? Will that help?
Definitely, sir. There's no doubt about it. It's no doubt about it. But even simple pranayama can help you. That's what I said. When you do physical exercise, it's not going to help you because it can shed your weight and all. But when you do it with the breath, what happens automatically? You will get that anxiety, stress, and all coming out. A little bit of breathing. If you learn it properly, you can also teach them. But I will also willing to do something for the public if really needed. Teaching little bit of breathing technique will definitely get rid of this anxiety and stress, will make them a little quality of life has been improved. You can definitely do it, no doubt about it.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Because Charles is working with people who are suffering from mental retardation, and also Charles is working with autistic children also. He's doing a good job in that. So
Wonderful, wonderful.
He is one of our physiotherapists who's specialized in hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
Oh, wow, great.
Very
You
few
have been doing it in a traditional way. We are doing it in a mechanical way by giving artificial.
No, that's why I say it's a combo is very important. That's why they're saying many hospitals are coming with holistic approach.
Yes.
So that combo, if you make it, definitely you can see a better result.
Okay. That's
Thank
nice,
you,
ma'am. Sir, Sundar Raman, someone has raised their hand. So please, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful session. I am Sundar Raman from Sydney. I am a friend of Mr. Uday Kumar.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have got one question. See, is it okay if we do the yoga practices in the evening times also?
Definitely.
Ideally,
sir,
I feel morning hours. Ideally, I feel morning hours will be good to start with. But is it okay? We can do it in the evening hours also, ma'am?
Definitely, sir. No doubt. Because that's why I say you keep your empty stomach for 4 hours. and
Okay,
minimum
okay.
2 hours of liquid. You can do it. Evening also, they have found it very useful because this was a paper on it. There was a research paper, and they found even doing it evening is potentially be better. It's not like people said only morning. But when you do it when the sun rises, you feel much fresh and fresh. Evening,
definitely.
you are in pain, but you can do it. If you are retired and you're sitting at home or doing much of less work, then probably definitely you can do it. Both will give the same effect, no doubt.
Thank you, ma'am.
sir.
Kind of, very kind of you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Is there any other question? Evening, if they are doing, they should have a minimum 4 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
After food, yes.
Okay, food rest. Okay.
Is there any other questions? And also, we this is as I said earlier, this is only an initial program.